Right, a few introductory words. I spend my life nowadays doing corporate turnarounds. I invest in fast-growing companies as a hobby and quite a lucrative one, where I also suffer a great deal of pain. I'd just like to talk you through a turnaround company we've been looking at. What would you do with a company which always misses its forecasts? You've mostly seen those. Early stage companies virtually always miss their forecasts. Has unhappy owners who distrust the board, quite common too. Has a huge unfunded pension deficit, not so common in the companies you'd be used to, but common in the ones I do. Has increased overheads for 30 consecutive years in real terms. Has had negative cash flow for 21 years and is projecting further negative cash flow as far as the eye can see. Can only make ends meet by charging its customers more and borrowing more to pay the interest. It has no credible plan to break even. Starting to sound really quite awful, isn't it? Betting everything on growth when there isn't any. Recently made 2 very large loss-making acquisitions without any turnaround plan. Cooks the books by missing out liabilities. Has an appalling record on senior management expenses. Bizarrely bails out its competitors. Recently had an unqualified finance director of bizarre appearance and a Trotskyist background. Recently, though, decided to change its management and put 2 former public relations men in charge who have recently found out what a pasty is. That's the country, folks. You can't make it up. So are we in the filth? Yes, we're in the filth. It's down to trying to find growth to dig us out of it. We've either got to cut government expenditure very sharply, much more than the fragments that have been done so far, or the economy has to grow. It'll be some combination of both. It's in the hope that companies like the ones we're seeing tonight can be induced to grow, and that the UK can be induced to have a background to enable those companies to grow, that I'm doing things like this. We really badly need some growing companies. The UK may have gone ex-growth. Too large a public sector, too much debt, too much inefficiency in the public sector. And if we've gone ex-growth, the future is really very bleak. All the next generation have to do is service the debts the rest of us are putting up. So on those cheerless notes, I'll pass you over to the sponsors. Thank you. The Business Growth Fund. I'm afraid you're inadequately cynical. The Business Growth Fund appeared as an idea over a weekend when the government was seeking a solution to bankers' bonuses, and it has achieved its aims already and handsomely. The Business Growth Fund is people I know who work there, and a lot of them I've seen over the years, are actually from the mid-market buyout business. So the fact they're reluctant to fund growth companies should come at no surprise to anybody. It's a different skill set, and it's a very difficult skill set. Funding growth companies in the UK has, over a very long period, given very poor rates of return. It's been extremely difficult, and you can hardly be too careful. So I'd love to be more encouraging about it, but I just don't think it's coming. There isn't a shortage of capital in the UK. There's a shortage of good investment opportunities. That isn't always the view of everybody, but just think about it. If there was a shortage of money, the people who invested in that area would make a fortune, and they don't, which rather implies there's a shortage of good opportunities rather than a shortage of money. Doesn't always feel that way, but actually that's what the aggregates are telling you. Of these companies, I think a couple of them have really got the opportunity to go somewhere. Some already have. They're very different stages. Yoomi's got by the sound of it, very low gross margin. Its competition is a saucepan of hot water. That's going to be hard work. BSO, I couldn't really work out too clearly what kind of infrastructure solutions they were doing. Sounded like their competitors could be a telecoms company or computer center. They're already in several countries and doing apparently quite well, so they may well prosper. But I didn't get a clear picture of what they were doing. Exclusive Analysis appropriately presented themselves as understanding what they were doing. You would hope they would. I don't know why they're here, because actually I doubt very much if they need any money. And if they do, there's something wrong with their business model that isn't obvious. Calcitech's one of these really difficult things. I think you have the same opinion, Nick, that it's a difficult asset to fund. It's backing a chemical process, an industry which has been in decline in the UK for as long as I've been around. My first ever television appearance was on Panorama when I was at university, when I expressed the view that the chemical industry was in decline, to the considerable upset of my then chemistry professor, who really gave me a good licking off and explained what a fine company ICI was. Some of you may remember ICI. But it is difficult to get funding for such things, and you're after a lot of money. I had the chance to speak to you before, and there are some opportunity piles of capital that you can have a go at, but they're rather odd ones. And BuyEnergyOnline, I'm not sure you need any money. I'll express my opinion. Why not just nick the customers? Hiring 2 sales and marketing people is going to be a sight easier than acquiring, quote, traditional competitors. What have they got? Customer list and an obsolete technology. You must be able to do better than that without spending money. So I'd be very much in favor of giving you some sales and marketing people, and if that fails, worry about acquisitions or change your business completely. With that, I'll shut up, and I think it's time for the circulation.